brilliant student, undergraduate student, where he graduated with a first class in that department and leading department in the year 2017. Later then, he started his career. And spent some years as embedded engineer. Later then, he proceeds to Italy, following his academic pursuit in photonics integrated technology. Started from Santana School of Advanced Studies, Pisa, Italy, and then to Aston University of Technology, Aston University, United Kingdom. Now, he is a student, a researcher, and a PhD student in the University of Gustave Eiffel in Paris, where his research is mainly on photonics integration of high data rates audio over fiber application. The project aims at developing a silicon photonics architecture for achieving an high data rate communication with radio over fiber for 5G and beyond applications. I would like to permit others to welcome the scholar Akeem Safiriyu to do justice to the topics being given, which is strategies and tools in formulating research topic. Thank you for listening.
Jazakumullah khairan. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me. It's a very good opportunity to be here to discuss with fellow students like myself, trying to also pursue some career in the field of research. I'm very glad to be here, and then I would like to, I have a little slide to present. Is that okay if I share my slide?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and then just to be sure, is it compulsory for me to use a video or is not necessary? Just for the...
No, it's up to you. If you want to use video, it's fine.
Okay, maybe when we get to the question and answer section, for now, just to ensure we have enough bandwidth, I will keep my video off, and then when we get to question and answer session, I can probably use my video. Can you see my screen? I'm not sure if...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can see.
Okay. Thank you very much. Today, my name, like it has been mentioned, my name is Akeem Safiriyu, and then I'll be giving a short discussion on strategies and tools for formulating research topics. To start with, these are the list of my outline. At first, we discuss what is research generally, what do we mean by research. Then we discuss why do we need a research topic. Is it really important to worry about the research topic? And then we discuss some of the strategy we can use to craft a good research topic, and then we look at some of the tools. I mean, now we have a lot of tools, more than 100 tools that are used in different sections of research. But we'll just be talking about a few of them. I mean, because of the time limit we have, and then I plan to do a little demonstration before the end of the discussion, so that I can also show how some of the common tools and how to use them properly. Sorry, someone, can you put off your mic? Sorry, it's to me. Okay, thank you. Like Mr. Malik mentioned, I have my background in electrical electronics engineering, and then after then I had some experience as an R&D engineer, and then after then I proceeded to a master's degree in photonics, and then which is also engineering, and I'm currently doing a PhD also in engineering field, which involves designing 5G and beyond communication system. So just to give a disclaimer, some of my opinion in this presentation might lean towards the engineering research. So I'm very sorry in case you are maybe in social science or you are in a different field. I might not touch too much about that field. So about most of the things that I talk about is also applicable in other field. I'm just trying to say some of the example I will bring in might be more into the engineering field. So please permit me. And then just to be on the same page, we like us to do a short quiz. I don't know if you have your mobile with you. I will post the link on the chat. If you can just click the link, it comprises of 3 questions. I just want you to answer the question, and then so I can know. It's just to check the audience we have to understand what is the dynamics, so I can know how to shape my topic. Thank you. So the questions are very straightforward. One, I just want to know. What the first question is: your current level of study, either you're undergraduate or you're a graduate student. And then the second question is to confirm if your experience with research, if you have been in research for a while or you are just starting. And then the third question is to confirm if you already have a publication or not, so we can understand the dynamic of people we are working with. Putting some inputs, and then I'll just use this. Okay. Okay, we have 7 responses so far, and then we have 21 participants. So I will wait up, and then I will proceed. So the link is always there. You can always fill it later. We can come back to it after the presentation and then continue. So I'll just wait up to 10 and then we proceed. We have 8, so we have 2 more to go. Hello, guys. Let me know if you have any problem accessing the link, and then I can.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's going well from my own end. So
Okay. So I just okay. Thank you. Just need one more person, and then we can proceed. One more person.
Yes, it is okay right here also as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have up to 10. We can always come back to this. So from the response we see, we can see that we have more graduate students. Up to 90% of us are graduates already. And then in terms of experience with research as well, we have people between 0 and 3 years. So I will try to limit my discussion just to balance it for people who are just starting and people who are already into research. And then in terms of publication, okay, we have larger percentage of people who are still yet to publish. So thank you very much. To start with, let's go into it. First, what do we mean by research? Research is a basic word which means that you are doing some investigation, some systematic investigation into a study of material source in order to establish facts and reach new conclusion. And then just for general opinion, I also consulted Oxford Dictionary and also ChatGPT just to get their own opinion. And then from Oxford Dictionary, it says is a careful study of a subject, especially in order to discover new facts and information about it. And also, ChatGPT also told us that it's a process of inquiring or investigation aimed at discovering, interpreting, or revising facts. So one thing I want you to pick up from here is as a researcher, so what the main thing is you want to investigate into a particular subject, and then the goal at the end of the day for your research is to deduct a fact. So and then just to summarize it, I have this Venn diagram. First, there's a research gap. Before you can do a research, there has to be a research gap. So that means there's something people have been working on, or maybe nobody has worked on it, but it's something that has to be studied. So that means you need to identify there's a research gap that has to be worked on. Then you need to look for what people have done before. I mean, you can't just assume nobody has worked on a particular subject you want to work on. And then, okay, I'm the only one that is working on it. Then I just want to start my work without consulting what other people have done. In some cases, it might happen that the small part you want to focus on is not yet maybe studied very well, and you might maybe have to personal opinion. But in most cases, in the general, because every research has a general overview, so you might be working on a small segment of it, but there's a general overview of it. So that means you need to consult what other people have done in the general overview of it. Let me see if I can use pointer. So what other people have done in the general overview of it. And then after doing that, you are going to introduce your own personal study. After you've done your study, maybe your experiment, your data analysis, and then your own personal opinion will now be introduced based on the study I've carried out. Then this is what I want to present to the world. And then this is what make a very good research output. So when you combine all this input together, you get a good research output. And so that's just an overview of what research is. And secondly, when we the focus of today's topic, which is research topic. So why do we need a research topic? In most cases, when you, as an undergraduate student or a graduate student, at the end of your program, either master's, PhD, or you're going to have a maybe thesis or dissertation to submit. So that means you need to find a topic for your dissertation. You can't just write the whole book without a topic. And then also, in the process of your master PhD, you need to publish journal article about your findings. Maybe you've done some experiment and you need to communicate to the world. You need to publish in a journal or maybe a conference. And then lastly, if you are seeking a graduate program, you might need to submit a proposal, or even after your PhD, you are maybe aspiring for a postdoc or you want to get a grant, a research grant. You also need to write a proposal. And to do that, you also need a topic. So these are some of the reasons why you need to understand how do you craft a research topic. And then I specify here that researcher can have a defined research topic in the sense that, for example, if you are doing masters or if you are doing your masters or PhD in Europe, is in most cases you have a defined research topic. You have a defined research topic in which they tell you this is the topic we want you to work on, and then you have to focus on that for the period of your research. And in some cases, you are not given any topic. You are the one that come up with your topic, especially if you want to write a proposal. You have to be the one to craft the topic and then work on it. And then I must also add that even if you are doing a defined, if your research has a defined topic, along the way, even though you have a defined topic, you still have to craft out some topic. For example, you want to publish journal. Doing your research, you have up to 3 journals to publish. You can't have the same topic for the 3 of them. So you still have to find a way to shape your topic to be able to actually meet the demand of the journal you want to publish. And then also, there are some components of a good research topic. You can't just craft a research topic. You need to look at, one, the originality of the topic. This means that you can't just go to someone else's research, look at the topic and just pick it and say you want to use it for your research topic. So that one, they can actually penalize you for plagiarism or something that way. So there has to be a way to shape your research topic to make sure it has some originality in it. Also, there has to be some relevance. You have to actually define the relevance of your research. For example, you can't just tell them you want to work on climate change. Climate change is a broad topic. You need to find a way to define it to make it relevant. Is it going to be the impact of climate change on so and so? So you have to define the relevance of your topic. Also, the feasibility of your research. So you have to ensure the topic you pick is feasible. For example, you can't just say you want to study the growth rate of the whole race in the world. You want to collect data from the whole world and then study a particular something on the whole world. So it might not be feasible. You might not be able to, you plan to collect data from every region of the world. Within the period of your 2-3 years of your research, you can't travel to all part of the world collecting data. So those are some of results that are not feasible. So you might want to limit your topic to a particular region. maybe the effect of climate change on children in so part of the world. So that's more feasible, and then you can easily achieve that. And then also you have to look at the clarity of your topic. You must make sure that your topic is not ambiguous. I mean, just put words together, and then even people that see your topic cannot understand what you're trying to pass across. Because one good thing about when you are trying to look for, when you are doing literature review, we have several research paper, more than thousands of them. You can't afford to read all of them. So in some instance, the topic is what you see that makes you understand, do I need to look at this or not? So you have to be very clear in your topic so that people, when they see it, oh, okay, they might feel interested and then go to your topic. Also, you have to align your topic with your objective. You can't afford to have a topic that is far or different from the objective of the research. Imagine you have a paper that tells you it's the study of climate change, and then when you open the paper and you try to read it, you realize it's talking about something else, which is different from the objective. So in every case, every topic you come with, you have to make sure it aligns with the objective of your research. Also, there's something called the ethical consideration. So this is a very important part of research. You have to understand what is the ethical consideration for a particular research. For example, I think people in sciences will understand that. That's why a lot of people they do some experiment on maybe some animals, maybe like mouse, instead of doing them on maybe human being. So even for drug, before they start selling drug to human being, they test them on some kind of animal as well. So you have to check the ethical consideration of your topic. There are some part of the world, maybe in Europe that I know of, that they don't allow you to do any research on animal. So considering that means any topic you want to pick and not uh, cannot reflect that you want to carry out a research on animal. So you have to put that into consideration and then know how to shape your results. Also, testability. So you have to be careful with your topic because once you pick your topic and then you end up getting the approval to work on it, if at the end of the day you are not able to achieve the goal of your topic, you might, maybe get worried and then maybe become, I don't know. In the long run, you have 3, 4 years to work on something, and then you later realize that what you pick is not achievable. So it's going to call for a lot of worry, and then it might actually affect your output. So be sure that the methodology and approach you want to use you put that into mind before you pick your topic, and then you make sure you're able to get this done. And lastly, it's also very important to very concise. Make sure your topic is very, very concise. You can't afford to pick a topic and then it's about almost a paragraph, maybe 4, 5 lines. And it's not concise. You have to make sure it's like a summary of what you want to do. So you concise it into maybe 10 words at maximum, 10 to 15 word maximum for your topic. So ensure that you have a topic that is very concise. So that you don't have bore people with your topic. Imagine people spending 2 minutes to read your topic. So it's going to affect how they process your topic. So then we move on to some of the strategy that can be used to craft a good research. First, you have to identify the requirement of your research. This is very, very important. You have to understand that before you pick, for example, you want to submit a journal or you want to submit a thesis, there are some specific demand they want you to put into consideration before you pick a topic. One, it might be in terms of the originality or the methodology they want you to use, or it might even be the application of your research. I make some example here. For example, this is a summary of journal request for requesting people to submit journal to submit paper to a particular journal. This journal is NUSO 2024 is about numerical simulation of optoelectronic devices. And then if you can see here, We encourage submission in the highlight new and emerging research area, as well as those that provide novel solutions to practical problems in this field. So that means they want you to build within, and the field is highlighted here. We welcome contribution related to development of modeling and simulation of semiconductor lasers lasers, LED, modulators, photodiode, and everything. So they are going to give you, these are the specifications. So when you are crafting your topic, you have to put this into consideration. What are the demands of the journal you want to submit with? Also, even if you are doing a thesis, for example, if you are working on a European project, there's going to be a title of the project. In my case, I'm working on something called City of Tomorrow. So trying to create the City of Tomorrow. And then I'm in charge of developing a communication system that can adapt to the growing population and the growing need for high data rates. So that means if I'm picking a topic, I have to ensure my topic reflects high data rate communication system. So that means I'm also putting into consideration that, okay, in the City of Tomorrow, there will be need for high data rate. So any communication system and design will put high data rate into consideration. So that's why I said you have to, this is one of the most important things to avoid getting rejection. So you have to put into consideration the specification of the journal or the thesis you want to submit to. And second, you have to identify major area of focus. So this can be maybe the area of interest. You are interested in a particular field of research, maybe based on your background. Like in my case, I have interest in electronics, communication, and the likes. So you have to make sure it's something you have interest in, because this is something you'll be working on for the next 3, maybe 4, 5 years. You have to be sure it's something you can always wake up and be as excited to work on. So it's not something, you have background in engineering and someone asks you to come and maybe do research in sociology or something, and it's not something you are very interested in. You don't have passion for it. So along the line, if you're able to survive the first year, the second year, the prayer might get too much on you and you will not be able to adjust yourself to keep on. So always ensure it's something you have interest in. And second, you have to avoid emotional attachment. This is very important. For example, you have an emotional attachment towards a particular topic. For example, you have like in my case, I'll just set an example. You want to build a conversation system that anybody can just wake up and they connect, and there's no delay. You can easily talk to anybody. There's no problem. So those sort of emotional attachments. And then when you start working on it, and then after the first year, second year, third year, you start to understand the limitation, because when you do research, you are not going to be able to solve all the problem. That's why when you read the research paper, they'll still give room for improvement. So imagine you have some emotional attachment to something, and then you now realize there are some limitation to achieving it. So, and then that might actually down your passion and then weigh you down and avoid you from getting the best result you're supposed to get. So, and also it also helps you to avoid personal opinion which are not relevant to your research. For example, you did some research experiment, and then in your conclusion, we're trying to conclude, and because you have some emotional attachment, you added some opinion which does not really tally with the result you get. So you must be careful to avoid emotional attachment. Also, before you pick your topic, you need to start your research from a broad area. Like I said earlier, there's always the broad area of research, and then you now narrow it down to maybe the specific part where you want to work on. So you have to start from that broad area, especially when you want to pick a topic. Look at, okay, what's the general area? What are people working on? Then from there, after understanding some of what they are working on, then you can narrow it down to what you really need. So this is just another example for a journal. They give this is another journal, microphotonis journal, and here they highlighted these are the paper to be submitted for the journal must be within this field. So they itemize this field. Like in this case, ROF for B5G, integrated microphotonics. And so when you want to submit for most journal, you will have something like this. They will give you the list of, okay, these are the area of research we want people to focus on, people that want to submit paper to this research to focus on. So the same way, even if you are doing thesis, there's going to be a particular area of focus that you have to focus on. So this is another example. So third, which is the most important part, you also do literature review and identify the research gap. This is very important because if you decide to pick a topic without consulting what people have done in the past, you might end up doing something that is not relevant to the world or what people have maybe are no more talking about. So you have to get yourself get updated with what is currently going on in your field. So and that's why research review comes into play. So and then when we talk about literature review for crafting your topic, in this case, you don't have to do extensive literature review. You don't have to read 1 million papers and the likes. So, but you still have to read. I can't give you maybe, okay, reading 3 papers is enough, reading 2 papers is enough, reading, no. There's no defined number of papers you have to read for you to come up with a topic. It's based on your discussion. But one of the ways that can help you first is to read previous dissertation. For example, if you are doing a PhD, there might be other people that have worked on a similar topic, maybe in your lab. Try to get their dissertation, read about what they've done. I mean, you can go to the abstract, go to other part of it, and then see what they are doing. Then you can come up with a topic. Also, if you are writing a proposal, what you can do, the professor you want to work with. You can go to his page on the website, look at the fields he's going to work is working on. If possible, if you can get previous students from his lab, if you can read their dissertation, you can read it, or you can read their paper. So also in terms of reading paper, there are different types of paper. First, we have the review paper. We have some paper that are based on experimental results, which have been published. Like I said, this is actually streamlined to engineering parts, but it's applicable in other fields as well. So we can have modeling and simulation, or you can have combination of simulation and experiment. In this case, for crafting your topic, you want to focus more on review papers because this is where you identify what are the gap in this field that has to be worked on. So that's why I said, what do you have to read and how do you read it? So what to read, you need to focus to get your topic, you need to read more about review papers or previous dissertation. That's when you can know how to craft out a good topic. Meanwhile, like I said, you need to also put into mind the methodology you want to use for your topic. And that's where modeling, simulation, and experimental paper comes in. So you need to also consult maybe one or two of these to see what are the methodology people use to achieve a good result from this particular research area. So, but in most cases, to cast out your topic, you need to go to the review papers, read as much as you can, and then look at all these other paper to understand the methodology, way people collect data, and then how they present their data. So that's the answer of this. And then how to read. Uh, how do you read literature review? And that's one of the a major question people ask. And that's because of this problem. When you are reading a paper, they will always refer to another paper. So if you are new to research, you might end up seeing that you are trying to read the paper, they refer you to another paper, you try to check the other paper, that refers you to another paper, and that chain continues. And in the long run, you miss out of what you are actually reading. So try to avoid doing this, jumping from one to the other. So that's where the concept of note taking comes into play. When you are trying to read the paper, try to have a note by your side and take notes. So when there's maybe there's a concept and they refer you to another paper, avoid jumping directly to that paper. Take a note. Take a note of that concept. Okay, this concept can be found in this paper. take a note of that paper and just put in your notes and continue your reading. So along the line, when you are done, when you are done understanding what you want to understand, then you can now refer to the other paper. That helps you and avoid the back and forth and getting lost in thought in what you are currently reading. So this is very helpful. Try to avoid jumping around. Try to be focused, and then so when you are done with one, you can easily jump to the other one. And then I just pick out some of the example of research paper. For example, in my feed, if you search for silicon photonics, you see paper like this. So these are how to identify review paper. For example, paper on silicon photonics. This is a broad area, and this paper just try to tell you about, okay, these are what people are working on in this field. So you can easily go to paper like this, and then you can understand what they are doing. Also, silicon photonics is state of art. So state of art is like this review of a particular field. So you can also consult paper like this, or something like a roadmap to silicon photonics. So these are good paper. And also look at this, the past, present, and future of silicon photonics. So these are good paper. If you are looking for a topic in this field, if you go through this, you definitely you will definitely find something here. Also, if you're more into the engineering design and things, if you see a paper like this, silicon photonics circuit design, the method, the tools, and challenge. So if you are more of the design guy and you see a paper like this, going to a paper like this, you'll be able to identify what are the design challenges. So what are the new things I can bring into play? And then you'll be able to craft out the topic from here, from this. Then the fourth methodology, the fourth strategy is to raise questions and draft possible research topic of interest. So while you are reading those literature review, you need to be able to raise questions. So for example, the particular of method used, maybe the review paper talk about some of the methods that have been used. You can question it. Why not use this other method? Why just limit to this one and the likes? Also, you can also question the data collection process. In some cases, the data might be, for example, in my case, either simulation or experimental. So if the paper is based on simulation, you can, okay, what if we do this with experimental and experiment, and then we collect data and compare the simulation and experiment. And also in other field, it might be maybe quantitative or qualitative data collection. So you can access this and then try to raise questions, and that might help you generate your topic. Also, you can also look at the resources used. For example, in some cases, in my field, you might talk about the material used. For example, your work might be based on maybe silicon, and that work might be based on maybe another material. So probably there's a particular design. There's a particular design that has that you have a particular topic you are interested in, and the material they use is silicon. So you can raise a question that, okay, what if we use this other material? So what if we can do this with other material as well? And then some of the terms that can help you when you are reading review paper, some of the terms that can help you is to check for something like further research is needed in. So when you see something like this in research paper, can help you know, okay, these are the area where you should focus on. These are the area where you should look at to study. Also, things like the limitation of this research is. So from this you can also identify, okay, this research has some limitation, so they focus on this part and not on this part. So you can pick the other part and decide to work on it. Also, the region of focus. Maybe a research is carried out in Europe, you can decide to use the same, what if you can do the same research in Africa using African data? So that was another way to get it, the topic. Also, the design approach or the material, like I explained earlier. Also, the methodology that was used. Then also, after doing all this, after you get question, you'll be able to actually come up with maybe some possible topic of interest in that field. Then you need to assess the feasibility. So probably after doing all this research, you have maybe 4 or 5 topics. You need to sit down and now assess the feasibility. One, based on the support you have, for example, in your lab, do you have people with prior knowledge in this field that can also maybe easily bring it to up to speed? You can't just come up with a topic and then maybe probably nobody have any idea in your field, in your lab, and you are the first person to work on it. So that tells you that you are going to have maybe another 1 year to yourself to maybe bring yourself up to speed. But if you have a topic that someone I have some idea, not it doesn't have to know everything about it. So if you have someone that can bring you up to speed, so that can also help you. Also, in terms of material in the lab, for example, you need to do some experiment and you realize that the lab does not have specific equipment to do the experiment and they might not be able to procure it in the time frame that you have. So it will not be reasonable to come up with a topic like that. So you need to check the support you have. If it's okay to go ahead with this topic on, so with that, you can strike out some topics. Also, based on the timeline, in some cases, you might have research, you might have to work on a particular research. For example, you want to publish a paper in maybe 6 months. So, and then you have 6 months to work on a particular research. So, you need to put that into consideration. So, don't go and work on a research that is going to maybe extend beyond that and you'll be able to meet the deadline. So, you need to put the timeline also into consideration to avoid uh, having a bad output. Because the problem is if you have a deadline in 6 months, and then you have a research that does not meet the deadline. What happens is later, when you are close to the 6 months, you become worried, and then you might end up maybe just putting things together that you are not really sure about, and then putting them in your paper, which can actually affect maybe the acceptance or the rejection of your paper. So you need to be careful with the timeline. And lastly, you need to seek feedback. So once you strike out some of the topics, you need to meet with your supervisor, meet with maybe possible people in the field to help you check out the topics. Okay, these are the topic I have. After reading and everything, I have 2, 3 topics. Can you help me check them and see which one is feasible, which one is okay, and which one is not okay? Then with this, especially this feedback is based from your supervisor or your potential supervisor. When you speak with them, they'll be able to tell you, okay, this particular topic is okay, this one is not okay, or this one, okay, let's modify it a bit to make it something we can work with. And then prepare your mind and be ready for modification and rejection. So this help you to avoid the word if everything is easy, it won't be called research. So sometimes you might bring 2, 3 topics to them and they tell you no, you cannot work on this. So prepare your mind for that as well. So if you have after you've done your feasibility and everything, you can try to convince them. So if not, then don't uh don't argue too much. Probably he knew some things you don't know about it, which can make it unsuccessful. So you need to be careful. But the good thing is seek feedback and prepare your mind for modification and rejection. So if at the end of the day you've been able to get approval of your topic, good for you. Based on the fact that you've considered all this methodology and data collection used, and you can now extensively go ahead with your research and then move on. So those are some of the strategy that can help you to craft a very good research topic. And then I also said that I'm going to highlight some of the tools. One, to carry out literature review, which is you want to find a gap in research. There are several online platforms that you can use. I just made a screenshot and I try to check with your university. They always have subscription form with a lot of online research database. They can retrieve data from. But in this case, we have from A to W, which are different online database that you can retrieve article from. So some of the popular ones are Google Scholar, PubMed, and the likes. And then secondly, there's this actually the science of we can discuss about that here, but technically it's not the best way to source our material, but sometimes due to circumstance, you might need to find some material which are not accessible on your university database. So science hub is like it's like I don't know the way to it for it, but it's like a database where you can get some data, you can get some paper as well. So you can try to check them out. to see if you can get your paper there. Also, Litmap is a good tool to help you do your literature review. So it helps you map a lot of literature together. For example, you have a research interest in a particular field. If you type the field and you click on search, it can help you link 10, 11 papers together that is talking about the similar topic, and then you can know some of the papers to focus on. Also, why do your literature review? Like I said, you might have to work on 10, 15 papers. So there are tools like Zotero, Mendeley to help you gather and organize your material. And in some cases as well, they can also help you manage citation. So what they do is, for example, you have a research to work on, so you can create a folder, like a database on the particular research you want to work on. And then they have some tools that is integrated to your browser. And then once you have a paper of interest, you can just make a click and then get added to your database. So I'm going to show a little bit about that later. So, and then here I have a comparison between Mendeley and Zotero. So to know which platform to go for. Also, you have tools that can help you summarize the paper. For example, you have a paper up to maybe 10 pages or 11 pages, and you just want to know, okay, what are the major core subject of this paper? So you can use paper things like ChatGPT, Scholarly to help you summarize your paper easily, and then you can know the focus of the paper if you need to read more about it or not. Also, you have tools like Out Discovery, which is used for listening to paper. So rather than reading them, you can put it to Out Discovery, and then they can read it out to you while you maybe do other things. And so these tools are also, most of them are maybe they have some free version and then they have paid version. So you have to know, check them out to know which one actually work for you. And then I stated the importance of note taking earlier. So there are tools like Notion or Notes that can be used to take immediate note while you are working. So rather than just paper and Bible, you can have Notion open. Then while you are doing your paper, you can take notes on Notion, or you can also highlight your paper as well. So also for paper writing, for example, you might need to maybe for your proposal, you need to make some draft. You can use tools like Overleaf, Latest, you can use Grammarly to help you summarize your thoughts or summarize your paper and likes. You can use Google, you can use Microsoft Word, and so on. So lastly, I said we should do a little demonstration um, just to show us how to use some of these common tools. And then so I will do that. I just want to be sure how much time do I have left? Brother Malik. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, continue, sir. Continue.
Okay.
Good.
I just want to know how much time I have. So I will do a little demonstration of these two. For example, let's start with my Microsoft with Google Scholar. Just give me a minute. Okay. So I don't know if can I share my entire screen? Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, okay. So here, Google Scholar is one of the most popular platform that is used for research, but not everybody is aware of how to use them. So the goal is just to show you some of the ways to use it. For example, if we select a particular research field, uh, so I can decide to use my own field. It could be faster. So if I check something like silicon photonics, so here you are going to see a list of papers that were previously published in this field. You can see from 1 to 10, even more than that, you can see a lot of papers from this field. But there are some tools here which you can use. So in this case, we have this highlighted, that means anytime. Or if you are looking for a topic, it's better for you to consult the recent papers. So that's why you can, instead of selecting any time, you can select maybe since 2024 to look at the recent paper that are published in this field. For example, this is a state of art. This is a literature review paper. So if you read this paper, you can easily know that, okay, this you can find some gaps in research and you can
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
find something out.
We have 10 minutes
Okay,
for.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So also, if you want to do, you can also customize your range. For example, from 2022 to 2024, and then you can do your search. And then so it's going to give you research between 2024 and 2024. So like, it's important when you are doing your literature review to stick to recent paper so you don't have conflicting idea. Also, you can, if you, this is to sort by time. Also, if you come here, you can sort by relevance, like it's how relevant they are in this field. So you can add this as well, or you can sort them by date. So in ascending order, the latest to the to other types. So these are other ways to do it. Also, you can, in this case, the this actually includes citations. So you can also include patents, maybe some patents that have been done in this field. You can also check some of the patents. Also, this also highlighted any type of paper. But if you just want to stick to review paper, you can just click review article. So and it can tell you just these are just review articles that you can work on them. So lastly, what I want to show you here is, for example, if I want to work on silicon photonics, and I am not sure about, for example, I'm looking for potential supervisors. So if you want to look at some of the maybe the leading researcher in this field, for example, if I click on this, I want to look at the leading researcher in this field. I can maybe these are the names of the researcher. I mean, from here you can see the name of the researcher, the citation, and everything. So if I click on one of them, and then on their profile, this is just photonics. Let me see if I can see some like this. So, so this is the profile of this particular researcher, but I'm not interested in this researcher, but I want to look at the leading researcher in this field of silicon photonics. So there's always some keywords here. If you click on keyword like silicon photonics, we see some of the leading researcher and their citation here. For example, in silicon photonics, the most cited researcher is Govin P. Agrawa from University of Rochester. So you can do the same for all your field. You can just type the label and search for the researcher in this field. So you can know, for example, you are looking for potential schools in the US to maybe apply for. So you can see this one is from Rochester. You can apply to him, or you can apply to maybe Bowell or other. So you can see from here the leading researcher. So that's about a Google Scholar. So the next tool I talk about is Litmap. Like I said, here, let me do the same thing. I'm working on silicon photonics. So if you click on search, so it's going to give you, this is your article. These are links to other article that, so here you have silicon photonics, nonlinear silicon photonics, integrated silicon photonics. So these are different articles, and you can see the map. You have yours and you have other people, and then you can select since 2024, maybe since 2023, so you can do any other filtering with this. And then, though I'm not signing at the moment, but you can sign in to do similar stuff. So the good thing is, if you look at here, so you can see this is the particular research, and these are other possible research, and you can also check out that is doing the same thing as this. For example, if you click on one of these, and then you can see the details of research, and then you can explore it. So that's about that. It's a very good tool as well. And then lastly, Zotero. The beautiful thing about Zotero is here, as you can see here, you have a library. So you can store all your, for example, you are working on particular research, maybe more than one research at a time. There are times you work on more than one research. So here you are working on analog global fiber. Here you are working on CPR and PPR. So you can dedicate, okay, this research, these are the paper of interest for this research. So you put them under the same folder. there's a particular paper, there are some paper you want to highlight, so you put them under here. Also, another research, you put their paper, so you store them independently. So that once you want to go back to particular research, there's no problem. You can easily just go there, look at the paper. Okay, these are the papers. You don't have to cite them all over again. And the another beautiful thing is you can just, when you have your paper, you have all your paper under a particular research, you can just click on export bibliography. So you can generate any type of bibliography you have, IEEE, or any Harvard or anyone you need, and generate it automatically and put it in your document. Lastly, this is also integrated to your browser, for example, here. So if you click on any paper, for example, you check on the paper and then you attend to, oh, this is a very interesting paper, I want to add it to my file. So Zotero can be integrated to your browser and then you can just click on this. And automatically, Zotero will tell you, okay, which folder do you want to set it, you want to save it on? Then I can click OK, and to put under analog global fiber. And automatically, this saves to your analog global fiber page. So if you go back here and check the analog global fiber, you are going to see the paper. This is the paper. And then from here, you can click on it. You can, so I think the network. So I have to, oh, it's going to automatically download it. And then you can easily access it. Okay, yeah, this is the PDF. So it's going to download it and you can easily access it from your browser. So this makes it easy for you to manage your paper and your citation, everything on the same app. So so that's that about that. And then I think that's my last page. Yeah, I think that's all.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir.
Yeah. So
We
sorry,
really appreciate you.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry, just so I included some reputable source here. I mean, these three, their YouTube channel, which I can recommend for you to check out, especially if you are doing your PhD. So they provide some tools and some advice to have a very good PhD experience. And these links, they are tools, they are on LinkedIn, you can check them out. So they are tools. I mean, the first one is 35 tools. I think the second one is 50 tools that are very beneficial for PhD students. So I will employ you to check it out. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. We really
Yeah.
appreciate your time and attentions and for this discussion. This is very informative and educative discussions. So we implore every members that has one or two questions to ask now for him to take us through the questions. If you have any question, please try and notify us in the inbox, or you should just unmute your mic and talk. And sir, about the your slide, how can I have access to your slide so that we can all have it?
Yeah,
Maybe you send it to the group.
Yeah, if you send me your email address, I will forward it to you. If that's
Okay.
okay by you.
Okay, so I'll just send it to the group.
Yeah.
That's my email address.
Yeah, please. Can you send me your email address? Okay, that's your email address. So I will forward it to you.
So
If
I'll
you
just
send
send
it
it to others. Please, if you have any question, please. If you have any question concerning discussion, you can just ask.
Naam, Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I have a question.
Okay.
Jazakumullah khairan to our speaker. So the question I want to ask is, can you please shed more light about citations, like in-text citations for us?
Okay. Thank you. Brother Malik, do you want us to get all the question and answer them together, or I can respond to individual question? Hello. Okay.
You can continue answering the question, sir. So
Okay.
anyone that's asked a question, you just paste it inside the inbox.
Okay. So regarding your question, when it comes to in-text citation, I think it depends on you have to speak with your probably your university, or that's why I said you have to check the requirements. So probably you should check when you want to publish with a particular journal. I'll just discuss regarding the journal. So in most journal, they always have what they call requirements. I will try to see if I can maybe open some if I'm able to open. So they will tell you like a format to use for your research. So inside that format, you can easily see how they do their citation, and you can just go ahead with that. In my case, I prefer the inside citation that includes 1, 2, 3. I mean, you have a square bracket and you have 1, 2, 3. So that's the one I prefer more. And then, especially if you are submitting to an IEEE journal, I don't know about that with, but in Nigeria, if you are submitting to an IEEE journal, that's the citation they mostly advise you to work with. So let me see if I can show you what I mean. Just a minute. So, for example, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
So I talk about journal format. So if you look at it, if you look here, you can see different journal. For example, a JOT is a journal of applied technology, which is IEEE journal. This is, if I open it up, so they will give you a particular format like this. So this just let me just show the PDF version. So this is their formatting, and if you read through it, they will tell. Oh, this is not detailed enough. They will tell you how they want you to carry out in-text formatting and the likes. It's not detailed. So if I open, let me open this. So if you read through it, they will tell you how they want you to do in-text formatting. So I mean, this is how the introduction should look like, the format you should use and everything. So in most cases, when you are using, if you are using latex, which is what I would advise you to use if you have the time. So what you can do is you can import this, you can download this format from the journal, import it to latex, and then just start maybe typing your words and your article, and automatically it's going to help you format it to this format. You don't have to waste your time doing that. I'm trying to see if I can check where in-text formatting
Thank you,
is.
sir. We have 3 questions. Let me.
Okay.
The first one said that can you shed more light on avoiding emotional attachments? The second question, can you shed more light on pediatric journals and non-pediatric? Also, the third question, what differentiates a Scopus index journals from others? And then the last question is, can you tell us the plagiarism checks tools you use? Jazakumullah khairan.
Okay. Stop sharing first. Okay. Thank you very much. The first question, what I mean by emotional attachment, like I said earlier, is to avoid picking a topic that you have a personal bias about. I mean, this will help you avoid bias in your conclusion. For example, let me just use from engineering perspective. Sorry for the noise. So, yeah, from engineering perspective, probably I hope everybody can get this. So you have a design, and then you have two separate design, and then from your expectation, without maybe calculation, you just, if you have it like this, one should work better than the other. I don't know if you get, so that's what you expect from, maybe with my design, I should expect this to work than this. And then when you now did the experiment, you realize the one you thought we perform better now add a bad performance. And then you try to repeat the experiment over and over again, and you're getting the same results. So if you are not careful, you might have some biased opinion. Since you have a biased opinion about it, you might not want to repeat the experiment. You might still be thought, okay, maybe there are other parameters affecting it. That's why it's not behaving the way it's supposed to behave. And then maybe make your conclusion. But if you try not to have, if you don't have a biased opinion about it, so because there's no emotional attachment, you can see what's happening in front of you and you can conclude based on the evidence you have in front of you. So that's my opinion about it. Sorry, I didn't get all your question, but I got another question about plagiarism.
Predatory journal and non-predatory journal.
I'm not
The
sure.
difference between predatory journal and non-predatory journal.
Okay, I'm not sure if I understand what you mean by predatory journal or unpredatory. I'm not sure if the person can maybe explain better.
Okay, and then
If
another question is differentiate between Scopus index journals. What differentiates between Scopus
yeah, I think if I understand you well, so I think hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I mean there are several places to publish. Like I said, uh, scope index is just I mean Elvasia, Nature, and others. They're just different another platform to publish your paper. And then in some cases, those platforms might be free access. So probably you have to pay a certain amount of money to make it free access. So, but in my case, my research has, like I said, I've been into maybe university research, and then I've been more into engineering. And in engineering, we are more focused on. That's why I said my knowledge might be limited in terms of the idea I'm going to give out. So I've been into engineering and R&D for a while, and then in most cases, as an engineer, is either you are doing a review. That's where you consider journals like maybe Nature, Advanced, and the likes. But if you are really working into maybe design experimental results, you want to focus more on on journals like IEEE and the likes. So, I mean, some of the Scopus journal they are just journal that give you access to publish open access. And I mean, you have to pay a particular amount of money and they help you publish, and it's open access to everybody to access it. And also journals like IEEE and the likes, you have to maybe based on university subscription, when you publish is not open access directly. People have to maybe have maybe subscription to be able to access them. Like, so that's what I know about it. Um, that's all I can say about it.
Thank you, sir.
And then about plagiarism, I don't know if I get the word right. Tony, sorry, let me check. Let me confirm the name. Tony Ton or something. I used to miss out the name.
Turn it in.
Yeah, Tony Tin. Yeah,
Point.
Tony Tin. So that's the most common one I use, and then because my university subscribe to that as well. So, and most university have as well, especially in Europe. So they have subscription for that. So what you just do is when you have the when you go to the website, you can just upload your paper, and then it can tell you the percentage of plagiarism in your paper.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
While waiting for others to ask questions, Mr. LSD, sir, please, can you please shed more light on that questions? Predatory journal and non-predatory. Or mute your
No,
mic
it's
and talk.
fine. No, I thought it was
Okay.
his field. But it's fine.
Okay, okay.
I'll sort myself out. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, you're
All right.
welcome.
Hello.
I'm still
Do we
with
still
you.
have any? Do we still have any questions? Is there anyone that want to ask questions?
Assalamualaikum, Brother Malik. Question in the chat box. Brother Malik.
Question. Okay. What are the affordable mistakes that can lead to plagiarisms or paper rejection?
Yeah. Okay. Regarding that, some of the strategies I've itemized should be able to help. Like I said, about paper rejection, you need to actually tailor your paper, the objective of your paper, and your topic to align with the requirement of the journal. So that is one major requirement that helps you. Even, for example, in my field, people try to see, you try to maybe you tailor your design to a particular application. For example, I have a particular design of a particular chip, so you can tailor it to several applications. So if I'm submitting a journal for maybe communication, so that means I have to tailor the experiment I do and the objective of my paper towards communication. And the same design can be used for another field, maybe computing or others. So if I'm submitting for a journal in computing, that means I have to tailor my experiments and my paper towards computing. So you always have to make sure the objective of your paper is tailored towards the requirement of the paper. And that's very important. And for plagiarism, the advice I can give is when you read something and you get the concept of something from someone, you can find a way to put it in your own word, but try to acknowledge the person that actually gave the idea in the first instance. For example, you don't want to tell people that maybe you are writing a paper on COVID-19 and you want to say you discover that COVID-19 can be treated uh, by using maybe a particular drug. And then you must know that you are not the first person that said this. Someone else has already reported that. So you have to make sure you maybe reference to someone that gave you the idea that, okay, this particular drug can actually help you treat COVID-19. So always, that's why note taking is also important when you are doing your literature review. So once you are doing your, because what happens in most cases is people, when you are doing your literature review, you have several ideas that you come up with, and then you might want to copy. You might want to copy them and put them. Okay, you got this idea from this paper. You want to just copy them and put them as fast as possible so you don't forget them. So along the line, while you are maybe reading several of them, you might forget a source for a particular idea. So in a way, trying to reframe it and maybe put in your own word, you might not be able to maybe justify that. So it's better once you are reading a paper and you are taking some notes, try to always put the reference in front of it. And that's why it's important to have these tools like Zotero and the likes. You can just document the source where you got that information from. So when you are now compiling your own paper, you can always remember the source and then put them there. So that's the advice I can give.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. If you have anybody that has a question, you can direct the question to me. So I will send it to him, and which I will reach out to him and ask about the questions. So we can call this day to the program off like this. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We really appreciate. And I'll be expecting the file through my email so that I can share it with others. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khairan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and then I wish everyone the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
No, thank you. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the lecture.
Thank you, sir.
Jazakallah.
Oh, yeah.